Hello, this is Professor Lewis coming to you with week 4 edition of Introduction to Public Safety Administration. So, where do we go in week 3? Week 3, we talked about leadership. What is leadership? You had the opportunity to have some readings to kind of take you there, and then you had an opportunity in our discussion area to give your own definition of leadership. I've had an opportunity to read most of them, and you did very well with that. So we continue to move on. Then we looked at leadership styles. We looked at autocratic, we looked at democratic, we looked at participative, different slants on the titles of them, but we looked at different types of leadership and how they were applicable in different public safety administration roles. Whether you're out on an emergency scene or whether you're behind a desk, obviously working on a team project affects what leadership style that you employ. So y'all did very good with that. Everyone now has their topic for their essay assignment. I've read all those. I've approved all those. I've read abstracts for most of them. Hopefully, by the time you're viewing this, I'll have all the abstracts since that was an assignment for week 3. Please continue to do so. Week 4, we go into the topic of budgeting. Obviously, it takes money to keep the machines running. The Public Safety Administration wheels need money onto it. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into those readings that you had for this week relative to budgets. And when the economy's good, a lot of money comes into the government, and we can expand on public safety administration. But when the economy's bad, then the budgets are down, and we have to figure out where do we cut? Do we right size? Do we downsize? All those words that have kind of come to play over the last several years. And then sometimes if the economy's real good, we make government too big, and so that's always the argument that goes between the politicians between, how much government do we need, how much government do we don't need, when's too much, when's too little. So and then it kind of closes out, kind of talking about alternative service delivery models, and you see that come to play across the United States when budgets are down, and even trying to streamline government. Government is looking to streamline the public safety function by creating positions such as public safety officer positions, where personnel are trained as in law enforcement, fire suppression, EMS, and possibly some other tasks, and they do all that on a day-to-day activity. And when they need it, where they need it, they perform that. So they may be patrolling around in a police car, but in the trunk of that police car is their fire suppression gear and the EMT kit. And if a 911 call comes in, they go to it. And if it requires fire suppression, then they go to it in their patrol car, and somebody else gets a fire engine, brings a fire engine, and much as fire departments have operated across the United States for centuries, sometimes somebody brings the truck, and other times other people just show up in cars. Take an opportunity to look at that. There are 2 questions. Kind of talking about budgets, the importance of budgets, and tying budgets to your mission. And then the second one was thinking about that more with less problem, and what do we do about that? Big thing for you this week is that the essay assignment is due this week. So, hopefully you've had an opportunity to work with that. I hope you found that assignment to be both interesting and educational. I often get feedback that students found it, and that's why I often challenge you to kind of look for an incident that may not be too familiar with you, because then you get the opportunity to research it and learn more about it. So a couple of things that I want you to consider when you complete that paper, and things that I tried to push you for, with the whole thing, have pull your topic ahead of time, develop an abstract. Besides just writing a paper, I want you to get a little bit more learning experience on it. Kind of learning style of paper, how to put the paper together and organize it, how to do some research. Take that topic, find some facts about the topic, what changes came about the topic, and then synthesize those and assess those, and then be able to fine tune your writing and make your writing style come out in order to put all these pieces together. So here's what I'm looking for you this week, this paper. This paper's due this week, and what I'd like to see from you, obviously a cover page, the typical UMUC cover page. Include your abstract as the next page. So the abstract that you've started, either rewrite it or include it as it is. That should be there, and then let's look for 6 to 8 pages of content. What happened? What was the consequences? What were the contributing consequences? And what changes came about of it? And that certainly should be a matter of facts as well as your own synthesis of the incident as you look through that. And then follow it up with a reference page. Remember that references, you have to contribute the references to where you got the data from. So you'll need inline references in the appropriate APA style to show where the data came from as you write the paper, and then a list of the references, and that follows. So that pretty much concludes what we need to think about for week 4. Sorry about the movement of the head, but I got to look at my notes every once in a while to make sure I get everything I want there. So we'll try to keep this at 5 or 6 minutes, and I see my little timer going to 6 minutes right now. So I'll be signing off, and I'll see you in the forum, and look forward to seeing your papers. And remember, the paper has to be uploaded into your assignment folder, and there also will be an area for you to share your paper. I would highly encourage everyone to share their paper. That way we each learn from the research of others. Rather than you write it and me read it, why not have the opportunity for other people to read it as well? So, signing off, Professor Lewis. See you in the forum.